Hey everyone, and welcome to SkillCapped. In this guide, we'll be breaking down the best molly spots, one-way smokes, lineups, and positions you should be playing as Brimstone on the map Bind. Now, this will not just be a guide containing a random assortment of different lineups. Instead, we've made sure to compile what are the most useful and strongest molly and smokes and demonstrate to you exactly how you should be using them in a real game. All of this is based off of research from the top pro Brimstone players. I promise you, this guide will pretty much be all you will ever need to know how to play Brimstone on Bind. Now, for our question of the day, which map do you think Brimstone is strongest on? Personally, my vote would be for Bind. It's what he's picked most on in pro play, and I know from personal experience and from what you'll see in this video, he just has some fantastic smokes, lineups, and alt locations. But what do you think? Do you have a go-to map that you love playing Brimstone on? Let us know in the comment section below, as we may just create a guide on it based on your feedback. And remember, what you find here on our YouTube channel is just a taste of the hyper improvement system on our website, SkillCapped.com. It's there you'll not only find over 700 premium Valorant guides, organized in structured courses that are easy to follow and optimized to help you improve as fast as possible, but we also have an expanding library of live Smurf commentaries, a feature no one else offers. These are by some of the top Valorant players breaking down how you too can climb out of every rank in Valorant, ranging from Iron to Diamond. All of this can be unlocked with no risk with our rank improvement guarantee, so click the link in the description below, head to skillcapped.com and get the rank you've always wanted. Alright, so this video will be structured with us going over each bomb site one by one, first starting with the attacking side and then looking how to play on the defending side. So let's start with attacking B site on Bind. The first thing you need to know are these two default smokes on elbow and halls. These are two common locations that defenders can hold angles from, as well as rotational paths they can take to get into B site. Our goal here with these smokes is to isolate whatever players are on B site. This way, we can take fights there without having to worry about being shot from these other angles. To then build on this, you can incorporate a molly in one of your smokes. For example, you can molly elbow, allowing you to focus on clearing sight without the worry of an enemy pushing through the smoke behind you. Exact same idea if we were at hookah. We can place our default smokes, then we can molly halls. This prevents enemies from pushing through the smoke there, and then we can only focus on clearing sight and a possible elbow push. The only time you want to place smokes inside of the site itself is if you're on a save round or light buy round where you have a stinger, shotgun, or classic pistol. What we can do is smoke both sides of the containers and then drop down into the smokes and get super close range fights where those guns can have a chance at beating out rifle players. And that's actually all you need to know for executing on B site as Brimstone. Now, the default plant spot on B site is right here. The spike will be planted here like 90% of the time, so all of our post-plant molly lineups will stem from this location. Once the bomb is planted, if you have your molly available, you want to head towards B long. This is the safest location where it's hard for enemies to kill you, and it lets you use the molly lineups to prevent the defuse. Our first molly lineup requires you to head into this corner, then you will be aiming a part of your HUD at where these two white lines meet at this corner. You want the white line underneath your armor and health to be lined up with that corner. This will hit the default plant spot while also coming from a relatively safe location and lets you be close enough to peek from B long after the molly expires. Our second molly lineup comes from B long, but further down, you want to head into this corner. You'll be aiming a part of your HUD at the corner of this wooden beam. Aim the downwards triangle at the top of the wooden beam corner. Again, this comes from a safe location, it's the default plant spot, and lets you move up and peek from B long into sight once the molly expires. Now, I know some of you may be wondering why you would need to learn more than one molly lineup. Well, after you use the first one, the next time you try to do it in the game, the enemy will catch on and just try to push you immediately. By switching up your post-plant molly lineups, you can prevent them from killing you and overall just confuse them. So for example, you could start out using the molly lineup number 1, then the next time in the post-plant go to molly lineup number 2. And this leads into our third molly lineup. This is arguably the safest location since you're so far away from sight. You head B long and go to the fountain and move against where the two plants are. Then you'll be aiming at where this metal rod sticks out. You then want to move your crosshair up from there until the line of the HUD that's underneath your molly icon is on top of this metal bar. This will hit the default plant spot, but also keeps you versatile as you can either move B long to peek from there after the molly expires or go hookah instead. Keep in mind, with all of these molly lineups, it takes a fair bit of time for the Molotov to actually land and activate, and it's for that reason you do not want to use them once you hear the enemy start to defuse. Instead, you need to shoot them a bit early on and requires you to predict when the enemy is getting close to jumping on the spike. Now, these three molly lineups from B long are your default ones, as B long is the safest location to play from. However, we can't always get there safely, and so now let's go over some unorthodox lineups that stem from more unnatural positions. First is if you find yourself in hookah in the post plant. You want to run out of hookah and head into this corner. Then you want to aim at the second stick on the left at the top of the roof with the top point of your shield icon. This will of course hit that default plant spot. Now, if you're out of time or simply just want a straightforward lineup from hookah, just head behind the boxes here and then jump and aim at where the bomb is planted and shoot the molly. It will activate instantly and it's just a really easy lineup to remember. Next, if you find yourself in halls, then what you want to do is aim for the top of the container and then just slightly to the right of it. This will bounce off the wall and hit the default plant spot. This is actually a good lineup to use on defense as well if you want to delay the enemy from planting. And lastly, let's talk elbow. If you're here, don't make that common mistake of swinging out wide to try and land the molly on the spike. Instead, move back into this corner and then aim at the middle point here on the wall. This will bounce the molly onto the default plant spot, and it's just way safer as you're not exposed to as many angles that enemies will be watching. So a really common question players have is, if I have my ultimate as Brimstone, should I use my ultimate first or my Molotov first? And the answer is always try to use your Molotov first in the post plant. This is because after you use your molly, you can then head into any other location to land your ult from, whereas the molly requires specific lineups and takes time to land. Additionally, there are some molly lineups that actually get blocked visually by your ultimate. So when you have the Brimstone ultimate and Molotov combo to delay diffuses, look to land the molly lineup first, then reposition to a safer location to follow it up with an ultimate when the enemy diffuses again. Great, so you're now equipped with everything you need to know for attacking B site as Brimstone on Bind. Now let's move on to how to defend B site. One of the most popular strategies in pro play is to just start the round against the barrier on B long. You want to throw the smoke right here at this specific location, then immediately run and grab the orb. You pretty much will never get punished for this and you'll get a free ult point each round. Another more aggressive opening is to play hookah with a close range weapon like a Judge or Bucky and then smoke the entrance to it. If the enemy tries to push through, they are just free kills, and so you can get a lot of map control despite having a weaker weapon. With that being said, often you're going for the ult orb farm when playing B site, then falling back into the site itself. From here, you can play inside container. You drop your remaining 2 smokes on hookah and garden once it sounds like the enemy is looking to push into site. Now, do not make the mistake of trying to molly off one of the smoke locations. Instead, you can use your molly to cut off the close right or close left pushes into site itself. This will allow you to then focus on enemies pushing the other side. It can also allow you to swoop around that side to suddenly get a surprising angle on enemies already pushed into site. Now, if you don't like playing inside container, then you can do the exact same strategy from back of site. And this is typically how you want to play B site, defaulting into the B long ult orb farming, then falling back and playing from container or back of site. If you're on a save round, then you can play hookah and go for that close range smoke strategy. Now, if the enemy is not coming B and instead is hitting A site, you want to quickly move into this corner and drop a smoke right here. This will smoke off short A and help delay the push and give time for you to rotate from B site to A site. Additionally, once you do rotate to A site, either for the retake or to defend a push, you always need to smoke off showers here and short A. This is because a lot of attackers will still be in these locations even if they have taken site, and you need to cut off these angles so that you and your teammate can focus on clearing the site without the worry of being shot from these far away angles. And that's everything you need to know for attacking and defending B site on Bind as Brimstone. So let's move on to A site. Let's look at how to attack it as Brimstone. The first thing you need to know is the one default smoke on top of the truck. Every time you attack A site, you'll be wanting to place down this smoke. This is because it will cut off defenders in both A heaven as well as any playing at Tetris in sight. You then want to build off this one default smoke with other smokes depending on what you need. For example, you can drop a smoke right next to it to completely cut off the right side of sight. This is typically done so you can clear out and get lamps control with you and your teammates. Another option is to smoke lamps. This is done so you and your team only has to focus on clearing the right side of sight. When doing the lamp smoke though, I highly recommend you then molly it to prevent an enemy from pushing through, so you can then just completely focus on clearing sight to your right and getting the plant down safely and then retreating back to short A. Another optional smoke is at showers. This would be done if your team is 5 men rushing short A and no one went for showers control or your showers player died. A good example of combining all of this together would be the default truck smoke, smoke on lamps, smoke on showers, then molly lamps, and then clear all of the right of sight and protect the default plant. If you are instead attacking from showers, then you want to go with these standard smoke locations. Place one on A heaven, one on lamps, and one here next to truck. This will allow you to focus on clearing a limited amount of angles inside of sight while not having to worry about enemies in far away safe locations raining down fire. Alright, so the default plant location on A side is always in front of the truck, but it can vary on the exact location in front of it. There's just one molly lineup location that you need to use, and it's to fall back to short A and then head into this corner. From here, you'll be aiming a part of your HUD at where this leaf touches the wire. The part of the HUD we'll be using is the middle mouse button on the mouse icon. So you'll notice this covers the majority of the default plant spot, but it's also versatile in that you can aim to the right or left to adjust where you want it to land. For example, if it was planted more to the left, I would then aim at the same spot, but then move slightly to the left. As you can see, it lands in the same default location, just slightly more to the left. Now, this molly location is so strong because you have really useful angles to hold, for example, preventing a short A flank, which is very common. It also lets you peek and kill anyone taking the showers teleporter. In addition to all of this, it lets you choose between rotating to peek from short A or showers once the molly expires, which can often catch players completely off guard. And lastly, let's talk about some more unorthodox lineups that can also double as defender lineups for delaying the enemy from planting default. From A heaven, all you need to remember is to bounce your molly off these wooden boxes. This will always land at the default plant spot. This can be good both to prevent and delay attackers from planting the spike, or to be used as a post-plant lineup to prevent a defuse. Same idea with this location behind truck. It's very simple. Just remember to jump and aim at the wall, and it will bounce and land at the default plant spot. If you find yourself in lamps, then you want to aim at this location on the wall and it will cover the right side of the default plant spot. If instead you want to hit the left side, then you want to aim at this corner. These lineups in lamps are nice as it prevents you from having to swing out to molly the spike location, and so you're much safer. Alright, so let's move on to how to defend a site as Brimstone. First is the super powerful one-way smoke everyone needs to be aware of. Aim at the right corner of the double box at short A. This will give you a one-way smoke where you can see the enemy's feet while they can't see you. Keep in mind, you don't actually want to aim at the opponent's feet. You aim at where their head will be and use their feet to help line it up and know when to shoot. Also, if you're playing lamps, you do not want to use that one-way smoke as it actually doesn't work from that location. Instead, if you're at lamps, just place a default smoke and you can throw your molly down if you hear enemies try to push through it. The other key smoke to know is to smoke the exit of showers. This smoke makes it a death trap for attackers to push out there. So if we combine all this together, if you were playing at lamps and expected the attackers to execute soon, you would want to smoke short A and showers. You can then shoot a few shots at head level through the smoke, throw down a molly, and also watch the showers push from lamps. If instead you aren't playing lamps, then you can go for that one-way smoke with the shower smoke as well. This will allow you to hold both angles, and you can incorporate a molly on one of them to help you focus on only holding the other angle, not worry about the enemy pushing through one of your smokes while you're distracted. It should also be mentioned that if you play lamps, you're able to place a smoke at the exit of hookah to help your B players hold a push there. Also, if your B side players are playing inside of hookah instead and get that early intel, you can smoke the entrance to hookah to delay the push. In addition to this, there's a fantastic molly lineup using the teleporter. Just remember to aim at the center middle part of the door that you can see through the teleporter. This will land perfectly to stop any pushes into hookah. This can be really good if you're playing around this spot with the one-way smoke. You can then get a teammate to play in hookah and call out early if they're pushing. You can then smoke the hookah entrance into then the molly lineup through teleporter, and it will just shut down any early pushes and buy a ton of time for rotates. And lastly, let's cover some really insane molly lineups to help defend a push on A site if you're the rotating B player. All of these lineups will stem from this spot here, where the blue wire curves against the wall. The first lineup is to help prevent a showers push. You want to aim at the height level of this brick and then line up with this corner. This can help prevent a showers push if they still haven't executed before you're actually at a site. From the same location, you'll be aiming at this spot with a part of your HUD. You'll want to aim at it with the upside down triangle below the mouse icon. Then make sure that you jump and release at the peak of your jump. This will land at short A, preventing a push from there. And lastly is to hit the default plant spot at truck. This can be used as an attacker as well. Stand in the exact same spot as before. This time we aim at the top of the line with the upside down triangle of your HUD. Release, and it will cover the majority of the default plant location. This can be great for delaying the plant from attackers, or if you are the one attacking and have planted and somehow ended up in the enemy spawn, you can use this lineup to delay the defuse. And finally, let's talk about the best ultimate locations. You see, part of Brimstone's strength on Bind is that he has a lot of strong ult spots compared to his other maps. The first one is to ult lamps, as often there's an enemy playing here and you can just get a free kill on them. Do keep in mind that often players will run out from lamps to site to get away from your ult, so you often want to ult this location and then watch lamps to shoot any enemies trying to run away. Another extremely strong location is the teleporter. Often enemies use the teleporter and then stay inside it for a few seconds before they run out. If they take the teleporter, you can just ult it and then watch the exit. It's just super free kills with your ultimate if the enemy takes this teleporter. Another really useful and underrated ult location is here, hitting all of back of B site. This will force all enemies inside site to run outside of it into the open, and so teammates just have to be holding the angles, waiting for them to push out, and it's free kills. Another common location to ult is elbow on B site. This can net you a lot of free kills if the enemy hesitates at all before running, or is in a bad location to start with. Just keep in mind, again, like with all of the other ults, you need to watch the exit path to shoot enemies trying to run away from it. Alright, and remember, if you want to improve fast, win more gunfights, and get the rank you've always wanted, then there's nothing better than our hyper improvement system at SkillCapped.com. Check it out, link in the description below. Otherwise, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to keep up to date with the meta, get more premium guides with one goal in mind, helping you become a better player. We here at SkillCapped want to thank you for watching until the end, and we'll catch you in the next one.